I'd like to welcome Evan Austin and Lanny Kaufer to our 2020 Ojai International Peace Day celebration. Surprise, surprise.
Evan, I'm just going to say that the award, the Ojai Peace Coalition's exclusive Nobel Peace Prize, has been awarded annually since 2007 in conjunction with International Day of Peace. Could you share with our listeners your views on the theme, Shaping Peace Together, and how it relates to the next Nobel Prize winner?
Sure, of course. Thank you for having us. So my thoughts are, I think, two in number. The first is that the genesis or the birth of the Ojai Peace Coalition in the beginning, which was, I think, 2005, was completely about the idea of feeling isolated, feeling alone myself, and having a hope or a wish that there was a larger community out there that I simply hadn't yet tapped into, that was interested in taking active, visible, actions in support of building peace. And so it's so much in keeping with that theme, Shaping Peace Together. It was entirely about that, about feeling alone and feeling like together we could come together, we could have a bigger, more visible presence, and any action that we chose to take, whether that was writing letters or marching or, protesting or whatever, would have more power together. So absolutely, this fits in that way. As far as our recipients, I'll speak in general, and then about this year's awardee. The idea of the Nobel Peace Prize is to kind of make superstars out of people who are working for peace, partly because there's an inherent, I don't know what to call it, maybe a reticence or an inherent shying away from the spotlight most of the time, I find, in peace work. We affect what circles we can. Obviously, we are trying to make change, but the peace workers that I meet most of the time aren't after a spotlight. And there's something that makes total sense about that, of course. And there's something beautiful about that. If it becomes too much about an individual, then it starts to lose something. And I'm okay with being sort of on the other side of that and saying, at least maybe within this community, let's shine a light on these people and hold them up, if only for a moment, and broaden, the voice and the visibility that they have. And so I'll hold this up so we can see it. You'll see that the Nobel Peace Prize emblem prominently features a torch. And so that is about both sort of the active, dynamic, passionate nature of the work, and it's about shining light on those awardees so that more people can see what they're doing. And so Lanny Kaufer fits this perfectly in my mind. Lanny has been personally about peace in every facet that I can see since I've known him. And the work that I know that he does and has done has always been about this theme, shaping peace together. It's never been about him himself. It's never been about shying away. It's always been about connecting people, bringing people together, whether it's music, whether it's marches, whether it's his herb walks. Everything that I can see that Lanny does is all about togetherness and bringing more people into awareness of themselves, of each other, of our natural world. It just fits so well. And I'm so happy that we have Lanny and that we're able to make this work virtually to be able to honor Lanny and still present this award this year.
Yeah, so would you like to introduce Lanny and have him speak a little bit about the receiving of the award?
Yeah, well, I would love for Lanny to, go into as much detail as he wants about his work for peace and how he relates to the topic. yeah, I want that, I think, to be Lanny's. So you can take it away,
Okay.
Lanny.
Okay. Well, first, let me just say that it's an honor to be selected for this award. It's certainly not something that I had in mind, as I've done the different things that I've been doing. And I, I have to say, I don't really see myself these days as a full-on peace activist, but I guess as I thought a little bit today about what I might say in accepting this award, it occurred to me that peace, that love, nonviolence are really at the heart of everything that I believe in, and kind of the thread that weaves together all the different things that I do and have done with my life. I've had some overt peace actions, and I guess I have to thank my parents and my teachers when I was a kid for putting me on this path. I remember growing up in the 60s and having a social studies teachers that made us aware of what was going on, which was the early days of the civil rights movement. We're talking 1960, 1961. And at the same time, I wrote a term paper on Gandhi. And the combination of that and watching what Dr. King was doing really influenced me, so that around the same time in 1964 that I turned 18, I filed as a conscientious objector with the draft board, and I also joined Dr. King's SCOPE project to register voters in the South. So that really, made an activist out of me for my whole life. I guess I'd have to say it really shaped my whole life. And so much of it was being able to be part of a team of people. Yes, I was acting individually as a conscientious objector, and I had to go by myself and face the draft board and the hearings and, contemplate, what my fate might be individually. But I knew that I was not alone, that there was a movement of people at the time that felt the same way. And there had been many conscientious objectors before me. And I certainly was part of a team. I was just a small cog in Dr. King's team of nonviolent workers in the civil rights movement. And that was the formative experience of my life. Experiencing what a group of people committed to justice and nonviolence could accomplish. And our project was really successful. And we registered enough voters, and I was still fighting my battle to be a conscientious objector, and I joined the anti-war movement, which was quite active in California at the time, and marched and did the things that we did to turn the tide of public opinion against the war. And one of the things I realized early on is that it's not always the big actions and being in the newspaper carrying a poster. And I know this sounds trite, but it's the little things we do every day just to spread goodwill, to acknowledge other people, to listen to other people, which is kind of the ultimate acknowledgement for someone else, just to know that you're really listening to them. And that's the beginning of nonviolent communication. And without nonviolent communication, no matter how many movements and organizations and how much funds we raise, we're not going to have peace on a larger scale. I still believe in peace. I still believe in world peace because I believe in people. And I believe that people universally want basically the same things. They want to be happy. They want to be able to fulfill themselves. They want something productive to do. They want people to love and to be loved. They want to have a family. These are universal family traits, or human traits as part of the human family. And these little actions that we take every day, even though they may be hidden by the mainstream news that's mostly bad news, those little actions are really what make the difference. They're, you know, the proverb about throwing a pebble in a pond and the ripples that go out. So I've hoped that I've created a few ripples along the way. I know, you know, Evan mentioned, you know, feeling like wanting to get more involved with peace back in 2005. And that was the year that he joined me in putting on my second annual Peace Fest in Libby Bowl. He did the artwork and was instrumental in helping to make that happen. Yes, it was short-lived, but like I say, you never know when you toss that little pebble into the pond who it's going to touch and how it's going to influence people along the way. So I'm just, I'm grateful for all the teachers and compadres that I've had on my team along the way, especially Dr. King, who I was very fortunate to be able to meet when he came to visit our project in Virginia in 1965. And, and I hope in my own small way to continue doing the work. And I hope that this medal will be an inspiration to me for at least the next year, if not longer, to continue to speak up and continue to live the values that I believe in, that I think are the human values of compassion, kindness, that I think are instrumental in ultimately reaching peace on a larger scale.
Thank you so much, Lanny. I think you are such an inspiration for everyone, what you stand for. And what I hear you really, these are the little steps every day of goodwill, to listen to people, to acknowledge the other, practice nonviolent communication, the little action steps. And I really hear that you believe in the goodness, the basic needs we all have, and that connects us all. And that is part of who you stand for. So thank you for being this in Ojai, for an inspiration without even, I think you know about it. But clearly, as long as I know you, there is so much trust and hope that you represent. Thank you so much. I think Evan did choose
I
the
echo that,
perfect
Lisa.
word.
Yeah, I echo your words, Lisa. We're so fortunate to have Lanny here with us. We're closer to the origin of the pebbles he throws in, and that feels good. And all of you, Lanny used the word compadres, and I think mentors, and I think it was so right to start your story, Lanny, before yourself, and acknowledge your parents and other teachers, and that's true for all of us. And I appreciate that reminder in myself to look at the three of you, for instance, as mentors to me, and think about other people who also fill that role, and that those ripples are still going. That's a great metaphor to keep a hold of. Thank you. You know, guide you through the next year or however long. I appreciate you saying that, because that's what I hope it is. I hope it's a little something that says not only we appreciate you, but that it can be a little reminder that we appreciate you, and a reminder when you are in, quiet moments alone, that little physical object sort of carries us all to saying thanks and keep going. Yeah.
It appears that we're living in dark times, and I'm sure that people have said that many times in human history. And at the same time, for some crazy reason, I have hope that humans, that the human family is waking up to its true heritage and its true future, which is to become a one human family.
Right.
And we have all the tools, the technology to do that now. It's just going to take the will and probably some younger generation that has that knows how to manipulate all this technology in a better way to get us all connected and able to speak and to support each other.
Breakthrough versus breakdown. So pointing towards what you were saying, Lanny, like, let's wake up as one humanity.
Right. And that's another reason for me why the theme works so well here, is because what I find is that nobody can sustain that level of energy, that level of hope constantly, right? My experience is we wax and we wane. And when we're a part of a community, a family, a tribe, if my energy, starts to go down, my hope goes down. Not only are there other people around me that can help lift me back up, but there are other people carrying on the work when I have to take a step back and rest and say, today is not happening for me. So there again, shaping peace together requires that community and that family.
Beautiful, beautiful. All right, thank
Yes.
you all so much.
Thank you very much.
Cyber hug to you.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Okay, this is really a great way to complete our program. And thank you all very much. I think we'll call this a close, and may peace prevail. Thank you all.
Happy Peace Day.
Thank you. Happy Peace Day.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. There it is.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Congratulations. Peace
Thanks.
be with you guys.